So our next topic here, I want to talk about what is microblading. Microblading versus tattooed. So I want to keep it simple, give you a little preview. Microblading is a semi-permanent using a blade, whether it's U shape or in a slant shape, in combinations of 6 to 18 small fine needles. Okay, and the needle's thickness can range from 0.15 to 0.35, which is very little to a large needles that comprise into one blade. So microblading is a semi-permanent, which means the way that you blade is going to be very on top of your skin layers. We're talking about epidermis level. This epidermis level is the levels where it protected your skin, and it can slough off, it peels off during time, because our skin on that top layers, we shed billions of skin cells, dead skin cells in days. So therefore, by microblading on top, it is a semi-permanent, it can fade away in time. The beauty things about microblading is that you're able to change your shape if you are doing it correctly. So I understand a lot of company, I couldn't say a legitimate company out there, I have to, very applaud to them, and we all in the same industry trying to bring you the most efficient and correct way of applying this microblading. However, there are some that are just, I'm not sure, maybe in a corner somewhere, trying to give you a little quick cheat sheets way of doing microblading, may distort and may bend microblading in a different way, which means they blade it below and deliver too much pigments. So that can really, really botch the work. So my information giving to you, microblading is a semi-permanent, deliver pigments on an epidermis level, which means in time, which is a year or maybe 2 years, the line can fade away, and that gives you a chance to redo it again. If you like to change the shape, it's allowable if you blade it correctly. So what is it? Blading. It sounds very, harsh, painful. So I want you to keep in mind, whenever you have this paper cut, it's the same concept. Paper cut, just a snitch, a little bit, and then, so that type of paper cut, it is mimicking the same as microblading, okay? It's shallow, doesn't bleed, and it's healable. So that's microblading. And as far as the pigments versus microblading versus tattooed, what's the difference? Microblading uses pigments. So pigments could be any pigments from plant extract, and it can fade away. It still retains same color, and it fades away. Now, I don't want to go into a very in depth of why is it changing colors. So I want to leave all that explanations, because it takes hours just to explain all that in our course. So in our course, we teach everything in depth about why the pigments got fade away, and why is it changing colors, and why is it bleeding and not bleeding. So all that will be in our course. And the questions right now is that microblading versus tattooed. So again, I'm coming back, microblading using pigments. Okay, pigments can fade in the same colors, but it can fade lighter. Versus tattooed. Tattooed uses ink color. So imagine your body tattooed. That's what people use. So it's an ink. And with ink, it stays. Now it has a heavier molecules. So with that heavier molecules, if you were using it on your face, it will be different. Okay, it was just gonna stay permanently, and it's scary. Okay, so we don't want to use ink for our, semi-permanent or for our face, especially the brows, the eyeliner, and the lips. So therefore, that's the topic for today. I want to give you the difference between microblading and tattooed. So I hope all this information help you. It can help you make a decision. So therefore, what our academy offer for you in this whole pandemic, it's saddened to say that yesterday's announcement by the governor that we, again, got thrown back in this whole social distancing. And I myself wasn't happy, but I think we like to think that we are the pioneers in some sort, or a part of the leaders. There are so many leaders out there. We wanted to be a part of it, trying to stand up here, give you the inspiration. You staying home, and you have all this time now. I assume it will be another 3 weeks. And let's just hope all that died down, and we're trying to get back on our feet and go back again. So therefore, me giving you all these informations, trying to give you an insight, trying to give you a little bit of a path that you want to go into. If you have any inclination of changing your career, we are here for you, okay? And hopefully these informations will help you make up your mind. If you are interested in changing your path, changing your career, hopefully you pick either lash extensions or microblading as part of your journey. And we now have all these courses available to you online. We have a master class, lash extensions online, directly to you. You don't have to go out, okay? And we do have information about, the microblading course. And of course, we don't take many students. As we have in the course, we are recording it. We have a local, and we're practicing all these precautions in compliance to the current situation. So our course is very small, 5 to 6 students, okay? Actually, we are coming up, we have full house this coming up weekend. That's our course. We do have Spanish course, which is next week. Any Hispanic person, any Hispanic students that are interested in the microblading course, we here, if you can just direct message us, we can go ahead and give you insight and sign you up if necessary.